That's me, Sammy's podcast. We're back at it again with episode 4 with the one and only Ali Hammett, the Western Jets assistant coach. Ali Hammett, background, born in Lebanon, and he's travelled all the way to Sydney, now to Melbourne, and he's been in Melbourne for the last 15 to 20 years. Ali has come from great experience. He's got a great mentality, a great mindset, and the motto of this podcast, real life experiences, real people, real solutions. And Ali today has given a lot of solutions. He has 10 years of local footy coaching experience. He's a current assistant coach at the Western Jets, current head coach at the AFL Multicultural Team, 2022 assistant coach at the AFL Academy Futures, and the 2022 assistant coach at the Vic Metro Futures. 2022 assistant coach at the Bashwood Academy. As you can tell, I need to take a breath because he's got it all. Don't forget to follow, like, comment, and subscribe. And please enjoy the video. Thank you, guys. Ali Hammett, the Western Jets coach. Ali, but before, chuck it up. Chuck it up. Oh! Ali Hammett, the Western Jets coach. Real life experiences, real people, real solutions. The reason I've known you for 10 years, man, 10, 15 years, camps, the mosque, and, man, just growing up, I'd see these special gatherings, and I'd look up to you, man, and now I'm actually finally getting you sitting down here. And right now, man, you're doing really well for yourself. Western Jets, man. Just tell us a bit about yourself, bro.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate those nice words, Sammy. I started coaching at a young age. I'd walk past my brother's training session, and there's the guy named Mitchell Beatty that was training him. I'd help him out. He asked me to be assistant coach.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, later on that year, he passed away with cancer. And on his deathbed, he asked me if I could take the team. So, like, a 16-year-old wants me to coach, like, under 12s, 13s. So, it was a bit tough. But I took it on, and I did about 10 years coaching there.
10 years coaching, 10 years local footy coaching, and now
years.
Western Jets, bro. That's like in the process of getting into AFL, man. Like, especially in Jets, then it's like, what, NAB then AFL?
Yeah, for the players it is. For some coaches it is too, but definitely for the players, more so for the coaches.
Yeah, don't worry, we've got the introduction, guys. So obviously people listening to this, you have the summary. You search Ali on Google, he comes up. And, you know, it hasn't been easy, man. You were telling me before, you search him up, 1995?
Yeah, so I was
born in Lebanon.
Yeah, so I was born in Lebanon. We originally moved when I was about 3 years old to Sydney. Went to school there, and when I was about 11, we moved to Melbourne. We had more relatives here, and it was a bit more fun to be in Melbourne. As everybody knows, Melbourne's a better place.
Yeah, Melbourne is a better place. Shout out to Melburnians. Lockdown.
Everyone was in lockdown. So, so we moved here. We jumped the fence one time at my auntie's house.
No.
Jumped the fence at the school.
Yeah.
So they got a school across the road. So we jumped the fence. We're playing footy, which I thought was rugby at the time, and I ran past the goal, scored a try. So I'd like to think that I've come a long way since. So yeah, it's been a good journey so far.
Hey, but you prefer Melbourne more than Sydney, yeah?
Yeah, I think everybody prefers Melbourne more than Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, so now, where'd you grow up in Melbourne? West, north, east?
Yeah, I grew in Sydney. I grew up in Granville, which is the west. And in Melbourne, I've grown up in the west too. So
yeah, shout out to Sydney, man. Oh man, I don't understand the people there. Totally different. I went to Sydney on a trip. I came back. I started kissing the floor of Melbourne, man. I'm like, thank God I'm in Melbourne, man.
It's crazy when you travel. Sometimes you don't even need to travel far for there to be a bit of a difference in lifestyle and people. Even their accent is slightly different. Some of the words they say is a little bit different. And you're only going to Sydney too, so imagine how nice it is when you're traveling overseas.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. It's good. And in Lebanon, I just want to know, man, where were you born, bro?
In Mishmish.
Mishmish! Cousins, bro. We're cousins, bro. I think we're related, bro. Shout out to all the Mishmish, my biggest fan base.
Yeah.
If you're born in Mishmish, you know us. If you're not born in Mishmish, you still know Mishmish. Come 100%. On, man. The best tribe.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it because my dad's watching me right now, but it's the best village in Lebanon.
100%.
No, that's good, man. That's good. And now, you know, you grow up in the Western Melbourne. You know, you're from Lebanon.
Yeah.
Bit of an import, bro.
I am an import, yeah.
Import. So, you know, tell us, man, speaking back from Arabic to English, was it a struggle?
Yeah, it was
A, B, C, D, E, F, G?
Yeah, so when I was really young, first year in school, you rock up speaking Arabic at home all the time.
Yeah?
No one's really speaking English because my parents obviously come from Lebanon too, so yeah, we're speaking Arabic. I know how to say microwave in Arabic. I know how to say kettle in Arabic. I know how to say all these different words in Arabic. And then you go to school, and you're like, oh,
Oh,
shit,
damn it.
I can't speak this language. And it was a bit tough at the start. Everything was tough, but as time goes on, you get better at things. It gets easier after time.
So you said in Lebanon, you're born in Lebanon.
Yeah.
How old were you in Melbourne?
I was about 11 or 12.
11 or 12. Okay, so then, okay. 11 or 12. And did you have any, growing up in school, man? Like, you're in Melbourne, man. I grew up in Albury,
Yeah.
like, in the country, yeah?
Yeah.
And, like, I was the only brown kid in the whole school, you know what I mean? Like, I looked different, my mum looked different, and we couldn't fit in. And, coming to Melbourne, it's a bit multicultural, but the school that you went to, did you fit in, or did you stand out?
In Melbourne or in Sydney?
In Melbourne.
Yeah, in Melbourne. Growing up in the West, there's Muslims, Africans, Asians. There's all sorts of people that go to the school. So it was good. It was good to have people from the same community,
No,
even the same village in your school. So I really liked it.
No, that's good, man.
But yeah, growing up was funny. I got.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's good. Tell
me to say the
any funny story.
So,
Go on.
yeah, there was a canteen in primary school. This is in Sydney, right? So,
in Sydney.
So this is my first year of school.
Prankster, bro.
First year of school, I am standing in the canteen and I'm watching these kids buy these cheesy garlic breads, and I tried it a few times because my cousin had bought it for me, and it was the nicest thing ever.
Yeah.
But all you needed to have was this 50-cent coin, right?
Yeah.
So a couple of weeks later, our teacher was teaching us about money, what a 50-cent coin is, what a dollar coin is,
Yeah.
but they were plastic coins,
plastic.
right? And I'm watching her put it in this cupboard, and we snuck in at lunch, me and my mates, and we pinched a 50-cent coin.
How'd you pinch it, man?
No, it was like just broke into the classroom at lunch. We broke into the classroom at lunch, stole a couple of fake 50-cent coins. And then I went up to the lady at the canteen. I'm like, I'll get one of those cheesy garlic bread, please. I was so excited.
Yeah.
And I give it to her. She goes, mate, just stand on the side for a sec. And I knew I was in a bit of trouble then. So that was the first lesson I learned in school. Don't steal. And plastic is not money.
Plastic is not money. That's it, guys. Kids, any young kids watching this, plastic is not money. And, don't use the same money that the teacher's teaching you with, okay? Because obviously it wouldn't be real. She'll be using it for herself.
It's a good story.
Yeah, and it is funny. Oh, you've told me now 5 times on the camera. Okay. And now, man, fitting in, this is all about fitting in, man. But back in the days, man, I'll tell you straight out.
Yeah.
Like, because, I look different, my parents look different background, all that what happened, with Muslims and, in the media, we didn't look good, man. And to be honest, man, I used to get picked on. Oh, Sammy, you smell, Sammy, you stink, just in these general stereotypes, and because I look different. And, I still spoke. I was born in Australia, so speaking wasn't a challenge. But, for you, man, obviously, Melbourne, there's a lot of people that look alike, talk alike, and it's that fitting in. But bullying. Did you ever get bullied? But for me, like, I got bullied from up to year 3. Then after year 3 to year 6, man, I was popular.
Yeah.
Got a voice.
Yeah.
Started speaking good about myself. It's courageous. How about you, man?
You're still very confident and popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was bullied a little bit in the first high school I went to, and perception of a person and a group of people to someone is huge, right? So the first high school I went to, people bullied me a little bit. Not that it worried me at all. Like, I'm not concerned by it at all. Then the next high school I went to, I was like the popular kid, and I'd start to see the kids that get bullied because I was a part of that. But the perception that you get from being in different groups and different schools is huge. And sometimes we get stuck thinking, my mate thinks that of him, or my mate thinks this of you. I'm going to think the same thing. But then you go into another group of friends, like, you're the coolest person ever. So when I did go to that second high school, I tried to galvanize everyone. I'd speak to all the kids, whether it was the sporty kids, the nerdy Star Wars kids.
Star Wars, shout out to Star Wars kids. I was a part of them.
all the kids at school, like all the ones from different backgrounds. So whenever you see them get bullied, you sort of stand up and say, hey, like, that's not cool.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's not a good thing to go through that originally in my first school, but those life experiences shape you into who you are and the environment.
No, it's good. And that's very good for me. Yeah, that was like, for me, you kind of get that. You kind of going up in Albury, only couldn't fit in.
Yeah.
And then after year 3, I tried to run away from my identity of being
Yeah.
a Muslim, praying 5 times a day. You know, my mum wearing only the headscarf in the
Yeah.
whole town out of 100,000 people. And then after year 4, year 5, I had this special teacher, and I remember she's like, Sammy, you're special. You know, you're different, and you should be proud. You
Yeah.
know, you're unique, you're original. And then after that, I kind of, had a voice. And then after people realized my confidence in myself and the identity that I believed in myself, because for those years in my young years, because I was in that kind of society, that kind of community,
Yeah.
I'd try to run away from my identity. But then, when you hand strong and people realize that you're holding on to it really good, and you're strong and you believe in it really well, then people kind of accept who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you got to be
100%.
strong, and it's a clear mindset, man.
Yeah.
And then after you did, like, your mindset running into this, like, did you, like, the people you hanged around with, the crowd,
Yeah.
what was it? What kind of people, what kind
Yeah.
of mates?
Yeah. So growing up, it was always the kids that were into football. So you go to school and like,
Yeah.
you're looking at who's playing footy at lunch or recess or soccer or whatever it may be, and you're hanging out with them straight away. They don't always end up being the friends you end up being friends with till now. And there are some people that I haven't even met yet that I reckon I'll end up being friends with for a long time. So friends
that's
at
right.
school and the people you're around when you're young, it's all good and well, but there comes a time where you might meet someone tomorrow that you stay friends with for a long time. But
Yeah, that's right. No, that's good, man. You see, you're speaking about footy, man.
Yeah.
Footy. Oh, you got to tell me, man. You're 11 years old, running a try, jumping the fence at Newport Lakes, and then you're trying to kick a try, and then you thought you scored. But
Yeah.
it's footy, man. It's AFL.
Yeah, I know. I
All
had
right,
to
tell
learn.
me, Colin. You come on to 11. You're thinking it's rugby. Did you ever have that dream? Because every Lebanese kid, we all have the dreams, man. Going into footy. But then every Sunday before the game, they're getting manouche and they're getting Lebanese pizza before the game. Did you ever have that dream of getting into AFL?
Of course I did. Everyone who plays any sport wishes to play at the highest level.
Yeah, but like, did you ever like? There's a difference between believing like you actually you worked hard, yeah, and you
Yeah.
slept well.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I truly believe that I could have done it. As you know now, probably a little bit too old to make it, but it's the things that we try and teach the youth coming through
Yeah.
now. So it's like I catch up with players and I say to them, "You sleep well?" They say, "No, we sleep at like 1, 2 o'clock," and I'm like, "All right, go sleep well, get a good sleep,
yeah,
come back, and then we can build on it. How you start your day the day before. So you go to sleep. First 4 hours of your sleep, a sort of a storage container to what you've done that day. So if you went to school or you exercise, whatever you learned, whatever you trained, sort of gets stored in. And the second half of your sleep is going to be the reflection of the day you're about to have. So I'm big on asking kids what sort of sleep have you had. But these are the things that I didn't know. Like I didn't know that I had to sleep well. I didn't know that I really had to eat that well. I didn't know that I had to go to the gym, become powerful, become strong. You sort of just think, go to the park, kick the ball, be really good at kicking the ball, but then you'll be good at football, right? But there's so much more to it. You see all these AFL players, like they're just huge. They're so athletic. So it's one thing that I'd like to teach the youth coming through, but the young parents, there are younger parents now that are second generation Lebanese Australians. So the first generation probably didn't understand all these things. Whereas when you and I have children, we'll teach them the importance of sleep, eating, training right, not training too hard, and just doing the right things for the body and the mind.
Yeah, and you know what? Like Lebanese migrating here to Australia.
Yeah.
I think like my mum's dad, my grandfather came in like the 70s.
Yeah.
So we've been here for like now 50 years, like the first generation. And all of us, you see the most Lebanese people, when we're going to schools, man, we're not playing soccer, bro. We're playing footy.
Yeah.
And 50 years, man, and we've only got like 2 Lebanese Australian Muslims into the game.
Yeah.
Like, how comes that, man? And we have all these special academies, Adam Saad, Bashir Houli, and how come we're not getting in, man? Like, like I have 4 brothers, man. Each and every one of them, 2 of them want to become footy players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanted to become a footy player until I jumped into soccer, and then I realized, I could be like the greatest.
Yes, I think preparation is huge from a young age.
Yeah.
Similar to what I was saying before, a lot of kids. So the ones that you do see get drafted, they usually go to a school where they teach them the importance of recovery, training, and all their skill stuff that they do extra trainings, and so we sort of just expect our talent is going to get us over the line, but there's so much more to it.
Yeah, you're right.
But the youth coming through now, and when I say youth, the kids that are about 10, 11, 12, 13, they're understanding that a lot more now. And the Bachelor program, even the SAD program from Carlton, they teach that, they educate that to the young kids coming through. So they're understanding the importance of
Yeah,
going
they
to
are.
the
They
gym.
are.
So hopefully we only have 2 or 3 now, but I'm telling you that we'll probably have a lot more, God willing, in the
God
next
willing,
few years.
yeah, no. Hopefully,
Yeah,
hopefully we will. You know, and like I think I was like, I had this teacher. I went to like a AFL iftar like to break their fast in Ramadan, and Bashuli held it up in the MCG.
yeah,
And then they popped a question to Bashuli. They're like, Bashar, you've been doing this academy for 10 years now.
yeah,
And, you know, the Lebanese in particular, that's mostly joining the academy. How come you're not getting anyone to AFL?
yeah,
And then he's like, the answer he gave was the culture.
yeah,
He's like, we're eating the foods that we eat, like specifically diet is like 80%.
yeah,
He's like, we're eating foods with fatty acid, you know, oils, you know, we got the water anib, we got
yeah,
the
yeah,
mokhia, we got, you know, every Sunday we're having a barbecue. Come on,
yeah.
who's saying no to that? I'm not saying no to water anib, man.
No, I never
If
say
you ask
that,
me
yeah.
what I need right now, then to AFL in 10 years, I'm picking what I need
Yeah,
right
of
now.
course.
You know what I mean? And he's like to, and I joined one of his, you know, sessions. He's like, at the age of 14, he cooked his own food, man.
Yeah.
Cooked his own food. And he had parents first generation.
Yeah.
So it was a big step. And then he was explaining his story that, you know, he used to sneak out, you know, with parents not knowing that he's going to train. And you, come on, man, which kid's doing that? And his brother got him a bike. He was riding like 200 Ks a week.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. No, our diet's huge. I'm probably not one to talk though. I love eating. So do you.
I love eating, man.
And I mean, I walked into you had me in the cool room today, in the nice living room.
The
today.
nice
I walked
living room.
into your kitchen before, and it looked like your mum was feeding 30 kids.
Yeah, no,
Mashallah.
Charlene.
So
Charlene
yeah,
has
we
5.
do get fed. We do get
No, we
fed
do.
pretty well. Yeah.
No, we do.
And
We're
we're
having a barbecue actually right now.
I can smell that.
But we're gonna have
I can
one
smell
after
that.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I could smell that. So we'll. So when I was working with the Bashahuli Academy earlier this year, I had one of the dads call me afterwards, and he's like, "Mate, what have you guys done to my son?" Because we had him for a week, right?
Yeah,
They were staying at a hotel. They were going. They were praying together.
Yeah.
They were training together. They were eating together. They were doing everything together. And I said, "Mate, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't do anything to your son." He's like, "My son hasn't stopped waking up to pray Fajr every morning." I'm like, "Okay, don't worry about getting drafted. Don't worry about everything. If that is all that come out of that week,
yeah,
that is a huge success."
of course.
So I think Basha and the boys there look at they measure their program off how religious these boys walk away.
Yeah, because it's a foundation of building
Yeah.
their academy.
So football's good, but our religion is much greater.
That's cracker. That's a quote. You know what I mean? We're gonna actually quote that right now. Ali Hammett. He said, "What did he say? Wait, repeat." He said, "Footy is what was it?"
Mate, I forgot.
I forgot. Hey, don't worry. I'm gonna
No,
rewatch
our
this.
religion, football's good, but our religion is greater.
I'm clapping right now, so we're gonna hit it because I'm gonna make it a short clip. No, that's good, man. You said it, and it's so much important because today, man, most of the boys,
Yeah.
we're all focusing on footy, and we're forgetting these foundations. And to be honest, think about this, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're focusing on your religion and also footy is a priority, and for example, waking up Fajr in the morning, you're obviously gonna sleep earlier. So
Yeah.
then when you sleep earlier, you're gonna wake up earlier. When you wake up early, you're gonna have more time. When you have more time, you're more focused, and then that's when you implement footy. But if you're just focusing on footy, you're not really focusing on your sleep. You're not really focusing on your diet. You're not really taking those 5 times to live in the moment. And I was going to ask you, Ali, how do you make your players? How do you get them to live in the moment, to be in the moment? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it's a struggle. Because most of us are thinking about tomorrow, worrying about what happened about yesterday, and we're forgetting today, which is the most important time of
That's
our
actually
life.
That's a really good question, and something we as coaches, all coaches, and I speak on behalf of everyone, that have to face every day. Like the hardest part is keeping a player engaged in the moment. So there are two things that happen to our minds when we're going through stuff in life or in football, whether it's a breakup, divorce, breakup. You just had a bad game. So 2 things our brain does: we think back on what's happened in our life, what we've done, what went wrong, or whatever, and then we think too far forward. So thinking back gets us slightly depressed, and thinking forward gets us very anxious. So
you're right.
mixing that in with your current state's not that good. So I could have just had a really shit season, and I'm in pre-season, and I'm worried about having a good season. Next season, I'm forgetting about pre-season.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And you can go from a big scale like that, and then you can go from a week-to-week thing. So, like, you've just had a shit game, you're training on the Wednesday, and you're worried about the game on Saturday, but you forget about that you're training on the Wednesday. So you're defeating the purpose of the moment. And then we go to the game on the Saturday, and you've had a shit first quarter, and you're worried about the second quarter, and I'm talking to you as a player at quarter time. You're not even listening to me because your mind's floating everywhere. So when you just gather yourself and remember to just be present as much as you can and understand, floating your mind back floating your mind forward
Yeah.
actually gets you further away from what you're trying to do. So it's okay sometimes to, your brain will float forward and it'll float back, but just remind yourself, look at your 2 feet. 2 feet are here, and just try and bring your back
100%.
self back to where you are. So it's like, where are my 2 feet? My 2 feet are right here. All right, come back. All right, my coach is in front of me. Listen to him. While I'm training, do that. You know, you can't worry about what's gone, and you can't worry about what's coming. Is that another quote? It's an average
That's not
one.
another quote, man. That's another page.
It's an
Another
average
2 page. Hey, we're starting a book. Yeah, that's me, Ali Hammett. Come on, man. This is too good. This is too good. And I was saying, man, you in particular, you wanted to get into footy. What position did you play?
I actually played in the ruck because I was probably this height, not this wide.
Not this one.
That's only come in the last few years. I was
No,
this
it's all
height
right.
at a really young age, so I always played in
Yeah.
the ruck, played a bit of forward line. Currently coached the forwards at the Jets. So
Oh, nice.
when we're in the box, game day, I'm watching them only and making sure that they're working all right. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good.
Yeah.
Ruckman.
Yeah, ruck.
Injuries? Because a lot of rucksmen, they're patting their knees.
Yeah.
It's like they're playing soccer, bro. I'm like,
Yeah.
I look at these players, like they're in a singlet, man. Shouldn't they be in a shirt? They're wearing shin guards.
Yeah.
Soccer or footy, man. Did you get any injuries?
I got heaps of injuries. I got that many injuries. I started getting awards at school for being the most clumsiest person in the world.
What?
So yeah, I broke my ankle 4 times
4 times.
in the space of a year and a half. So you broke one, went back, broke actually my pinky, went back, broke my other foot, went back, broke this foot, and then I broke the other one.
Would you just be
completely.
running or clashes or what?
I think
what's
just-
what's your scariest moment? Like the hardest hit you've ever had?
The hardest, I actually jumped in the air at the Werribee ground, and they had a cricket pitch because in the ruck you jump in the middle of the ground. They got a cricket pitch, so it's pretty hard later on in the year. So I jumped up, fell down, and my foot was facing the other way. Got up and I told the runner, I'm like, mate, I'm continuing this game. He's like, look your ankle, and look at it. I'm like, oh, I probably can't. Yeah, but at that point, it was after many injuries. Like, there's only so many times you can pick yourself up, pick yourself up. So at that point, it was hard. I remember sitting in the hospital room when my mum went to get my clothes for me, and I'm like, all right, like, I'm going to accept that this is not for me now. My body's not made for this. I was coaching at the time too. I'm like, I'll just stick to coaching. So then I stayed coaching. And when kids come to me and they're going through an injury or they're going through a part of their life which is difficult, I know how to approach it a bit better now because of those injuries.
Yeah, it's experience, man.
Because it drains you mentally a little bit.
Yeah,
So,
of course, man. And mindset, man. Like, come on. Like any young, for example, I have younger brothers, 16-year-old, 14-year-old, and they're playing sports, 24/7, and one wants to become into the, soccer in Spain, one wants to go into AFL, and come on, like the mindset, the mentality that you got to have, it's motivation and all that. And for you personally, man, how did you think about life, man? Because you wanted to get into AFL. You worn out, depressed, sad, upset. How did you go for like the mindset you had at that age? What was it?
Yeah, I was just so dedicated. You're so dedicated. You want to be the best.
Yeah.
And then all these setbacks, they just keep dragging you back. So after many times of getting back up, you just come to terms with everything. So,
yeah, it's realistic. You're being realistic with yourself.
But you should try, like, every day we wake up, alhamdulillah, we're healthy, yeah?
Yeah.
When you injure a part of your body, and then the next day you wake up, and then you don't realize how much you need parts of your body till you injure it. So it made me really grateful. And like, I can sit here and I can tell you that I was sad and I was depressed and I was all these things, but it also taught me a lesson that money can't buy,
Yeah, money can't buy you. They say a lot of people, working hard, working 15 hours, 25 hours, 20 hours a day, they compromise their health to make money. And then when they reach old age, they're compromising their money to get back their health, but they can't.
Yeah.
You can't buy health. And, that's a good experience that you went through.
Yeah.
And that's really good.
Yeah. Everything shapes us into the people we are today.
That's it.
So was I sad when it happened? Of course I was. Am I still sad about it? No, because it shaped me into who I am
Yeah, because,
today.
man, come on, Western Jets coach. Next time I'm going to be seeing you coaching the Essendon. That's it. No, that's very good, man. And now Western Jets, tell us, man, like the coach, the role, you're head coach, an assistant coach at Western Jets.
Yep.
Head coach at the Multicultural. How's that gone for the Multicultural Academy?
Yeah, it was really good. We had a camp a few weeks ago in Maroochydore where we spent the whole week there. We played against the Indigenous team. So that was a really good experience. Everybody was just so special there because everyone is either born overseas or had their parents born overseas as the players or even the coaches. And then the Indigenous guys, every conversation was so deep and beautiful. They're some of the nicest people there, and I can't wait to go again next year.
That good.
So the football was just, like I said before, it's just a bonus, right? So like the meeting the people and seeing their culture and the music and all that they do, it was so cool.
Can you get me on with you?
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta book me a ticket.
Well,
We
we do
gotta
a
go.
podcast
And we can
over
do a
there.
podcast over there. Come on. Hey,
Yeah,
it's
let's
gonna
do
be
it.
good. It's gonna be good, man. And yeah, you know, growing up, you know, your teenage years, you got, you know, you focused on coaching, man. So from 18 to, you know, to 22, that 4 year gap, like, what were you doing? Like, what were you working? What were you doing with your
Yeah.
life?
Yeah, I was working at a vending machine company. So
Yeah.
I was waking up some mornings and starting my work in the city. I'd get all the way to Bendigo, come back, go to Geelong. So you'd fill up the machines, you'd clean them. And then it was during the time when $5 notes became a bit different. You know, when
Oh,
they
yeah,
went from being
yeah,
like
yeah. They
old
changed
to
that
new.
shape. Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes you got to upgrade the machine and so can understand that a new $5 note is $5, right?
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Doing that, I was a pretty tame teenager.
Tame teenager
Would you
Ali
believe that?
Hammett.
Would you believe
I don't know, man. With that skin fade and then you still rock it. Looks
Yeah.
pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm 19 right now, man, and alhamdulillah, I'm doing pretty good. At
Yeah.
19, similar. It's
No,
like-
I think you have a lot more leadership qualities than me at
come on,
19.
man.
I
Yeah,
really
I'm gonna
like,
start blushing.
yeah.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
No, really, it takes courage to do what you're doing, you know, to get
thanks,
yourself in
man.
front of a camera, to speak, to try and encourage people and make them feel powerful and have belief in themselves. It's not an easy thing to do, and I respect you for that. So well done.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Tame teenager, yeah.
Tame teenager.
Until there was never a breaking point, you know, because I always hear this breaking point. Oh, hope to God, inshallah, I'm on this straight path.
Yeah.
But no breaking point.
That made me a better Muslim.
Yeah, made you a better
Yeah, there was
Muslim.
a time where I had a friend to revert, and as he was in the process of reverting, he'd ask me questions which I couldn't answer him, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, I need to be able to answer these. Like,
Yeah.
like
What a question.
these are pretty simple questions, and it wasn't like I had no religion. I was still practicing
Yeah.
Muslim,
Yeah.
but it just made me realize, okay, you can just step it up a little bit now.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Of course.
So yeah, that's about it. It's just like, it's funny when people ask about your religion and you can't answer, you feel a little bit embarrassed, yeah.
No, you do.
But I encourage everyone that you think it's just similar to football. You think you're there, but you're still not there. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
you
a
can always
never-ending
just keep
process.
trying.
Yeah, you can always keep trying. Even AFL players that have been playing 6-7 years, they've got 5 coaches to themselves. You
Yeah.
know, they're always there, room for improvement.
100%.
You know what I mean? You never make it. You won't make it. You know what I mean? You just have to keep trying. And it would tell. I was, you know, going over your Instagram.
Yeah.
You got this, man. You got whoever has this Instagram. I'm not sure if it's public. If we can put this photo
It's
on.
not public.
And actually,
was
can I
public.
put this photo on?
Which the quarantine one?
Yeah, the quarantine one.
of
There wasn't.
course.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll put it on. Hey, don't worry. I'll put it on right now. So you'll see it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, it'd be so bad.
Hey,
I
tell
can
us,
just
man.
imagine
Tell us
it right
how you. What was going through your mind at the hotel in quarantine? We're going to say anyone that's not from Melbourne, we're in lockdown. You know, for biggest lockdown in the world. And Ali's coming back from Lebanon. Yeah, Lebanon, and you went into the hotels. How was that, man? 2 weeks in the hotels.
Yeah, so I took my mum back. When I was saying before, I come here when I was 3.
Yeah,
My mum has no family here in Australia.
Yeah.
Not an auntie, not an uncle, nothing at all. So we took her back, and it was what, a 23-year reunion with, like, imagine not seeing your family for 23 years.
I can't imagine that.
It was crazy, but it was one of the best experiences of my life. So took her back. She experienced it. I experienced my motherland too, and it was like, okay, this is cool. First day, second day, third day, we get told that the airport's fucking closed.
Oh no.
Yeah. So we were in a bit of trouble. We were planning to go for about 3 or 4 weeks. We ended up staying for about 3 months.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
So you went from 3 weeks to 3 months.
3 weeks, 3 months, and we couldn't fly back unless we paid for one of those like charter flights, you know, like a special flight back. So it cost us nearly 45 grand for 3 of us to come back to Melbourne. So back to your point, we got out at the airport.
A lot of media.
Nah, no media at all. We actually got escorted out through where they get all the criminals out. You know, when they catch criminals
Get
on
out.
the border, like we'll get them out through the
Well,
back.
but you weren't in chains.
I wasn't in chains. No,
Nah.
no, I wasn't in chain at all.
You would have posted on Instagram.
No, I wouldn't have had to. I can't get my phone when I'm chained up.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, so we jumped in a bus. We get taken to this hotel.
Yeah.
We get treated pretty poorly. And I had, at the time, 2 journalists contact me, and they're like, hey, like, record yourself. Give us some, like, info. Give us some this. Give us some that. I'm like, okay. And then I got in there, and I'm recording myself, and I'm like to them, I'm actually really enjoying it in here. Like, I have I have in here what I didn't have in
Yeah.
Lebanon. You know, we didn't have hot water in Lebanon. I
Yeah.
couldn't just like order Uber Eats to my room. You know,
No, you're
we
right.
didn't
You
have
know,
a
you're right. You don't realize, how much
yeah.
we have here. The
Yeah, you don't
privilege.
have like access to electricity all the time. You couldn't just sit and play PlayStation. You couldn't watch TV. You know, there are things that we're so blessed with here that they don't actually have there, even as like a base in their life. So they're expecting me to record myself and say I'm having the worst time ever, and I'm like, nah. Like I'm so lucky right now.
Yeah.
There are like 80% of the world doesn't even have what I have in this quarantine hotel. Like being in there was shit. Being stuck between four walls was pretty shit for 14 days. But if I'd come back, say from Hawaii,
Yeah.
and just been at an island enjoying myself into quarantine, I would have struggled a little bit. But after coming back from a country that doesn't have everything we have here, um, that made it a lot easier. So the 2 weeks were hard and they were annoying, especially the last 5 days because we were
Yeah.
fasting too. So
Yeah.
the last
Ramadan.
five
Yeah.
days we were
Yeah. Yeah.
fasting. So no, it was a chaotic time. I did cut my hair.
We're showing it, guys. We're showing it. You
I
wouldn't
did
have seen it
I
right
did
now.
cut my hair like Mr. T, and I had like the
Oh man,
handlebars on as well.
yeah. Actually, after seeing that, man, I want to do that. I want to just try it. I want to see how it goes. Just
Yeah,
chuck me in a hotel for 2 weeks, and I reckon I'll go bold.
you do some crazy shit.
No, you
You do
do,
some
you
crazy
do.
shit.
Oh, and you got any crazy moments, man, in your life? Any crazy memories? I was going. You traveled. You've been traveling. What countries have you been going to?
Yeah, I keep my traveling and my life pretty private. But yeah, I have traveled to Hawaii, gone to Vanuatu, obviously Lebanon, New Zealand. I'm going back to Vanuatu soon with my brother.
What's that? What is
It's
that?
just a small island near Australia.
Oh, nice.
But I don't actually publicize that too much. I sort of feel bad that I don't use social media to, put photos up of food and holidays and that because I feel like there are even people around me right now that don't have the luxury to go to, like a restaurant in
No,
Sydney
you're right. 100%. You're
to
right.
eat. You know, some
Yeah.
people and even the people around us are struggling in life. So I don't like to publicize things like that. That's why you might see my Instagram. It's probably a little bit of a funnier
No, no, it's
Instagram.
funny.
Yeah.
Don't come on.
Even when I travel, it's like not everyone can travel. Not everyone can
No,
go
you're
and
right.
do the things.
No,
We're so lucky
no,
and
we are.
grateful.
No, we are. Thank
Yeah.
God
So
for that.
I have traveled, but yeah.
No, it's good, man. It's good. And I've got this phone now. We've got specific questions I've got to point out. And, trying to remember, man, you're a Western Jets coach, yeah?
Yes.
And, anybody listening to this, and the reason why I got you, because youth today in our community, man,
Yeah.
footy, like, us, it's either we're going to become, like, to be honest, man, mostly, you don't hear much of lawyers or doctors or engineers. You hear mostly, like, people we don't like school. Generally in the community,
Yeah.
especially there's that stigma. We don't like school, So when we don't like school, then we're going to go off to trade. And, there's nothing bad with that. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's either the tradies mostly or footy player, AFL
Yeah.
player. And, I want you
Yep.
explain the process of making AFL.
Yep.
Like, like how come, how come, like we were going back before, yeah? How come, we don't see much Lebanese people, and how come it's like, there's like there's just a genre, just all Australians,
Yeah. So you want me to explain the
Yeah,
process?
there's the process. Like, what are the steps?
Yeah.
And how to be realistic? Because, come on, man. We got a lot of, and I'm not, anybody listening to this, please have dreams, work hard, but you got to be realistic too. If
Yeah.
if you want to make AFL, it's that point till 18 to get drafted.
Yeah.
After that, it's pretty hard. It's more difficult. And if you're sleeping at 2 o'clock and you're still eating anib or mukhia, brother, forget about AFL, man. No, I'm joking. But let's be realistic, Ali. And I want you to be hardcore because many people, no one tells the truth. I want you to tell the truth and be really strict here.
Yeah.
I want you to, to be point and be realistic and, the good, the pros and the cons about people today and what we're doing for the young youth.
Yeah.
About making AFL.
So the process of becoming an AFL player, obviously you sign up for a club, community club. When you're playing at the community club, you have scouts coming to watch from NAB League teams, depending on which zone you live in. So we're in the Western Jets zone.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky enough to be there because it's close to home. It's about a minute drive. Anyway, so the Western Jets send scouts out to the community clubs to watch kids aged between 13 to 16.
Yeah.
And they'll try and identify the talented kids. Obviously, the ones that look athletic, the ones that are gathering the ball in their hands a lot, the ones that are tackling hard, the ones that get into contest, the ones that are kicking goals, the ones that have a bit of flair, the ones that are showing like early signs of talent.
Yeah, that's right.
Then we invite them over into our futures program, and we play a couple of games every year in the Western Jets futures programs. If they're good enough, they stay in our under 19s team. Then our under-19s team we go and play against Sandringham. We go play against Oakley. Sometimes we fly to Gold Coast or to Tasmania and we play against them too. So if our boys are good enough when they're playing those games, they get invited to the Metro team. So the Metro team is all the Metro. So have you ever travelled in a train?
Yeah.
Anywhere you can travel with the MyKey is a Metro area.
Oh,
if you're travelling in what's the other one called? The V-Line?
Yeah, V-Line,
that's not a metro area.
Yeah.
So anywhere you're travelling in a metro area, so the best 25 kids, so our kids get to go. You're 1 out of 25 in a big area. And then you're playing against Vic Countries or the V-Line kids.
Okay, yeah.
And then you're playing against South Australia, WA, and there's an allies team with, I think it's Sydney and maybe like Brisbane and all that. So it's like you're playing state v state v state. Then if you're good enough there, and if you're good enough there, you make the AFL Academy squad, but you can still get drafted from the Vic Metro team. So that's all it is.
Yeah,
so it's a huge. It's just step by step. It sounds easy when I sit here and I speak.
No, it does. Doesn't look. All right, now I reckon I can get into AFL, even though I'm 19.
Even if you come to the Jets and there's 60 blokes
Can you
there.
get me in?
You've got to be 14, 15, 16, 17.
Okay.
You come in, you got to make the squad. The 60, 70 blokes there. You got to make the squad of 45. Then you got to get a game. You got to play well. You got to stay in the team. It's so hard.
And your head coach this year for the Futures
No, I'm
Academy.
head coach of the Multicultural.
The Multicultural.
Yeah.
How about the Futures Academy?
The Futures, last year I was a part of the Vic Metro and AFL Academy Futures. So that was pretty cool. Getting players from the whole Metro or the AFL, the whole Australian
So you're
region.
picking, man.
Sorry?
You're picking the players.
I coach the players. So,
You coach the players.
yeah.
So you're in part of the recruitment team or nah?
For the Western Jets, I am, yeah.
Yeah. So right now, what are we looking for? 16 to 18-year-olds.
Yeah, well, if you're 16, 18, I'll come watch you play.
Yeah. Don't worry, just leave a comment and we'll tag Ali Hammett.
Yeah, 100%. I'm very open to helping all the youth in the Western suburbs. So
No, that's good.
We try and give everybody an opportunity.
No, that's right. Everybody deserves the opportunity, but obviously if they work hard to make it.
100%.
That's it. And I got another special question here. I'm reading these questions, man. These are not easy questions.
I feel like you're a journalist sometimes.
Oh, come on, I'm actually studying journalism.
Are you?
Yeah, this year.
You're really getting it out of me.
Nah, thank you. No, I'm sorry to put you under the pump.
No,
but
that's all right.
The challenges coaches face away from the actual game.
Yeah.
Like, what are the challenges and how are you finding coaching at the Western Jets?
Yeah. I personally really like it. The challenges are you rock up and you're dealing with humans, right? So you're not rocking up and you're dealing with a robot that has zero emotion.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. That's a good point.
So you're rocking up, you're dealing with humans. They have things go on in their life. There's days where they're happy, they're sad. So the management of the humans and the players is really crucial in our part. No,
of course, that's 100%. It is, and I think that's that's a point where we all lack here.
Yeah.
That and in that process, of dealing with, how would you deal with a person that's angry? Like you're coming in and you got your coworker that's had a bad day, and how would you communicate?
Yeah, every kid is different. There are some kids who are angry, but they never say a word, and they're angry because their faces go full red, and and there are kids that verbally tell you they're angry. So you deal with everybody differently. Obviously, you go about it in the most humane way possible.
Yeah, of course, 100%. Because coaches are like teachers, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Not anybody can become a coach.
Yeah,
it's not just about knowledge, and anybody can look at how to kick a ball. You got to do spider web, guys. Spider web. I can teach people to kick a ball or hand pass. Ball, laces, hand. Was that right or wrong?
No, I think we're past the stage of teaching skills. We got to teach more gameplay.
More gameplay and all that. Yeah, of course. It's more gameplay, and like you said, we're not teaching robots here. We're teaching human beings that have emotions, and like you said, it's what you focus on here, and that makes you so great. Is you're teaching players how to live in the moment.
Yeah,
it's because if they're focusing, if they've played a bad first quarter, and then they focus more about the second quarter, and then they're for example, if they go through a breakup or if they had a bad moment at school, then their mind's everywhere, and you teaching that is it's very, very good. And to be honest, man, I've been looking at coach, I've been looking at interviews, and I've never heard anything like this, and it's a really good thing to see, Ali.
Yeah,
you should be proud.
Thank you.
Round of applause, guys. Just make it uncomfortable.
No, it's all right. All good. You still got questions for me?
Of course, man. We got questions.
You got any jokes for me?
Jokes, man. I got too many jokes. I got like stories
Yeah.
of it was this famous story. I jumped on the other podcast. I don't even say it here.
So there's another podcast that you run.
No. I was a guest on another
You were a
podcast.
guest on the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was this I got this funny job. Did you hear it?
No, I haven't heard
I was
it.
a school captain.
You're the school captain. Yeah, I know you were a school captain.
Yeah, I was a school captain. Anyway, we get called in. I'll get called in. I'll send this straight again. We get called in to the office, man, and I'm tripping out, man.
Yeah.
So I'm full buckling, full putting my top button in, and walk into his office, and he has a greasy.
Who has the greasy?
The principal. He's looking at me,
yeah.
and I'm like, so I'm sitting down like this. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
You would have been the biggest suck up of
Bro, I'm telling you, I am cracker. I know how to act. I'm telling you, back in the school, I'd act like some
so
SK.
you were the school captain.
I was school captain, man. Don't even ask me, man.
I'm not. I was gonna ask. I won't ask.
It was the biggest Like I don't know, man. I know how to tell people.
Yeah, but you can relate to all the kids.
Yeah,
right?
that's the thing.
That's why you're the school captain.
Yeah, everybody has this, persona that school captain has to be some smart guy.
Hold on. You're telling the story. I want to hear the.
Oh yeah, sorry, man. You want to hear the story? Yeah, go. So go walk into the thing. Chuck's greasy. Principal's looking at me, and I'm full buckling. What did I do, man? Because before in year 9, year 10, I actually lost my badge.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, man, what did I do? Anyway, he's like, Sammy, he's like, Sammy, we got a dealer. So now I'm tripping out. Dealer.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what, drugs now?
Yeah,
What are we? So are we talking about drugs? Like what? Crack?
Yeah.
Weed? In my head, I'm thinking weed. What?
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen drugs going by. If anything, come on, we'll
Yeah.
take it. No, I'm joking.
No, we won't.
no.
Was this set in this Islamic school?
No. It's private,
Yeah.
secular,
Yeah.
independent private school. Anyway, he's like, vaping.
Yeah.
And then I started tripping out because 5 minutes before I was in the bathroom and I seen boys vaping.
Yeah.
So you start tripping out. So I'm like,
Were you vaping with them?
No, I wasn't. I don't vape, man.
I know your mum's listening.
No, she's not. No, she's not.
You don't have to. She probably will watch it over again.
No, she probably will. She probably will. Nah, man. I was seeing boys before vaping, and then I start bucking. I'm like, nah, sir, not any boys vaping, man. Not any boys vaping. And then we go out. We're telling all the boys, I was like the secret, the man inside.
Did you tone it down a bit? Did they stop smoking it in the toilets?
Yeah. Nah, not like. Now did you see, I didn't see it anymore.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. But after I told them,
vaping's such a big thing. I was actually.
Well, yeah, like, bro, everybody's doing it.
Yeah, I was cutting my hair today, and the barber had me back. And they have you back on the chair.
Yeah.
All I could I'm looking left and I'm looking right, but I could see the vape shop on my right, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, there are so many people going into there. It was like fit people, fat people, all sorts of people. I had to pause there for a second.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'll say it. Doesn't matter. It was like all sorts of people going in there buying vapes. I'm like, that's crazy. I can't believe how popular that is right now.
I reckon stop coaching and open a vape store, bro. You'll be a millionaire.
Yeah,
like you said, man, you wanna make $60,000 a day. I think vaping.
Yeah.
It's a new thing. It's a new trend, man. Back in the days when you were growing up, was vaping in?
Nah, definitely not. It's probably just people just smoking cigarettes at school and just doing the usual stuff. Yeah.
You're never into that?
I personally not into vaping now.
No, it's true.
I like the smell of it.
Yeah, bro. Blueberry mint. What's blueberry mint,
Yeah.
man? Or grape ice. Like I'm actually. But then one time my mate cracked it for Hamad, man. It's like vegetable oil.
Yeah.
It's like a vegetable oil with a battery
Yeah.
and acid.
I've read some articles on Twitter about vaping, and it doesn't look like it has the greatest stuff in it. I know people that work in these big warehouses in Altona North, and they say to me, we got the liquid stuff that they put in vapes. He's like, mate, you don't want to go anywhere near that. And it's just, I'm not going to tell people that they can and they can't do.
Yeah, no, of course, no. But we're advising. But would you advise anybody to vape?
No.
Clear, simple, clear, straight.
Can I stop it?
No, you can't. We can't stop it. But it's there.
Yeah.
It's out there. And right now, like we're here, we like to repeat and strike people, real life experiences, real people, real solutions, man. You've gone through it all, Ali, man. We've been speaking now, and you've experienced it all. Yep. And right now, why we get on, man, is because I could sit here and the reason why I got you in particular, like I told you before, I know you, really good person, amazing. Are you smiling yet? No, you're not smiling.
Yeah. No, I was.
Thank you, Sammy.
Smiling,
yeah, thank you, Sammy.
Thanks, Sammy.
Yeah. So I was getting on is because we got to get realistic people here on.
Yeah.
And, to be honest, man, I looked up to you, bro. I
Yeah,
looked
I
up to you at
appreciate that.
12, 13, 14, 15, man.
Yeah.
So right now, if I'm looking up to you, man, we need to get realistic people, that young youth today are watching it, because I want 16, 17, 18, 20, 23, 24-year-olds watching this podcast, because you're the realistic expectation. You know, you've been through it. You've waved. You've hit the challenges. You've been through the struggles. Lebanon, Sydney, Melbourne. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Next time, go to Asia. No, I'm joking. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
any experiences or anything, like, for example, now we got the young youth. They're starting into, the partying, the clubbing, and all that, man. And did you know any, like, people around you, any story, any, like, people that around you, like, how they are today, like, wasted their life, is a waste of time? What is it, man? Did you ever experience that environment? Not you in particular, but did you know anybody around it?
Yeah, I mean, even my neighbours do, my friends do. I got people at work that do, people everywhere that sort of go out, have a drink, or
But there's a difference between going out to drink or like going actually like a regular Friday, Saturday, Sunday partying. Then you're working from Monday to Friday. Then you're wasting all your
I've
money
got a lot
on
of
it.
school friends that are like that. A lot of them, like we were saying before, your environment shapes you into the person you are today. And some people completely let go and just destroy their life. And there are others where they let go and then they gather themselves back and they make the best life out of themselves from what they went through.
Obviously people make experiences, man.
But back to what you asked before, because I'm in a position where people like you do look up to me, and I'm so grateful and flattered that you've said that, by the way. And I love your leadership qualities, and I love
Thanks, Ali.
how courageous you are standing in front of this microphone and speaking. But when you put, and you'll understand this, you are in a position of slight power with people that look up to you. So when I realised I was in a position like that, I had to sort of like switch on a little bit quickly. So it's like, we got these kids that are Muslim and they're at the Jets, or I'm coaching them wherever I am. And if they're looking up to me and I'm not a good example, well, that's probably not a good start, is it?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
100%.
So that was probably another thing that straightened me up.
Yeah.
A little bit in life, straighter than what I already was.
So what would you tell anybody that's, struggling or trying to, fight from addictions, or, trying to quit? Like, what would be words of motivation? What are things that you need to think about? For example, if you had to speak to yourself 22, even though you didn't go through it, if you didn't experience it, but what would you tell yourself at 22-year-old Ali?
You seek help straight away, and don't be scared to admit something.
Yeah.
There's no shame in that. Some people's egos get too big. Sometimes we dig ourselves in our own little holes, and we don't want to get out of it. Especially blokes, they don't really like talking.
Men.
They don't really like talking.
Men's mental health.
Yeah. So a lot of guys don't like talking.
Yeah.
I'd encourage you to talk. You talking to someone after you're going through an addiction, or you're going through a traumatic period of your life, or you're going through anything which disgruntles your mind.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is speak up.
Of course,
and talk,
100%.
because I'll listen. You'll listen.
I'll listen, yeah.
Your
Anybody.
friends, your family will listen. Anybody will listen. And no one is ever alone.
No one.
And if you don't have family, and if you don't have friends, and you don't have neighbours, and you live in the middle of the bush or wherever you live, you've still got Allah.
That's it.
Right? And that's the most important thing. So if you don't feel comfortable as a man speaking to me, speaking to you, speaking to a counsellor, speaking to a sheikh, you can speak to Allah.
You can speak to God. That's right. That's the most important thing, because that's, end of the day, life is a test.
Yeah.
It's from the beginning to birth till death, and we're going through these struggles, and it's the reason here today is that it's important to I'm not like, how am I going to word this here? It's important to stay strong.
Yeah.
In the process of seeking help, not to play victim and why God, or why me, or why this, or why is this, and God doesn't love me, or why am I like this, and you're kind of playing. I'm not saying you're not playing victim, but you're taking the weak side, you're taking the easy way, you're making excuses.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like that, because when we have role models that we look up to, we think they're perfect. We think people are perfect. We look at other people and we think, they're perfect. Like, their life is perfect. Their situation at home is perfect. Their car's nice. They got this. They got that. Everything's perfect. When in reality, life isn't perfect. And I'll never sit here and paint a perfect picture to you, because I'm not perfect too. So if I'm telling you that I'm perfect, but I'm painting this perfect picture for you, you're going to think that you're going to have to be perfect too. And that's not the reality of life.
Of course, no, it's not the reality.
The reality of life is that we're not perfect, and we can make baby changes and small changes.
Steps. Yeah, that's it.
To become better people. But for a fact that no one is perfect.
I'm not perfect.
No one is perfect.
No one is perfect. And like you said, comparing today, we compare a lot. We see a man in a Ferrari fly by, and he's got, he's got a lady here younger than him by 15 years, and it's an old bloke, and
Yeah.
you know she might, and in reality is, you hear it, she's a prostitute,
Yeah.
and he's right there, he's lied and cheated his way in there. So you're comparing
Yeah.
your life to that kind of life.
Yeah.
Don't question your fate. Don't ask why your fate is how it is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? God gave you specifically, and you should be grateful and content for what you got. Because
100%.
if you're comparing your life to other people, whoever is listening to you, for example, with footy, with school, with soccer, with anything in your life, with money, with health, with business, with university, the life factors have to be exactly the same. So you have to compare yourself to the same person that has the same parents, the same brothers, the same siblings, the same family, the same friends, the same school, the same
Yeah.
environment. But no one is going to be exactly the same. So that's why you compare yourself to who you were yesterday.
Yep. I like to refer back because there are some players sometimes that I speak to, and they're like, "Oh, but he's doing this, and I'm just like him, and he's like this." And I say to them, "I want you to imagine that you're driving on the freeway.
Yeah.
How many cars you see? Heaps. Fucking heaps.
Yeah.
There's like 20, 30, 40 cars. Are they all going to the same destination? No. But they're all driving their car.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. No one ends up in the same destination. Even if we started in the same area and went to the same place, we're in different destinations. So
Of course.
our journey is all different. I can't look at the car near me on the freeway and think, I want to be like that. It's going somewhere else. Everyone is going somewhere else. We've got to choose our own destiny in life, and you'll control it in your own car. And I also use the when you went practice for your L's, like you went practiced with a driver, right? And all they have is an emergency brake pad in front of them when they're in the passenger seat and you're driving. So all we are as coaches are a guide. We just guide kids. We just guide them. You're driving your own car, and you're guiding yourself.
You're guiding,
I'm
right.
just the emergency brake in case you need me, and I'm watching over you. So when you are driving on that freeway, don't expect yourself to end up in the same destination as another car. You'll end up going somewhere else.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
It's
that's why
and that
the mirrors in front of you in the car are much wider than the mirrors behind, so you always look forward and you just get to where you want to.
That's it. Another page. I think we've actually written a book, Alec. Quote. That's it. We're actually bombing this, man. This podcast, we could go on for days, man. Hours, man. That's it. Like you said, your wind mirror, your windshield is so big, and when I was staring, it's huge. And we're looking at that small part, and most of us, you're gonna crash.
Yeah, it's gonna keep.
If you don't focus in front, you're gonna crash, man. You're gonna crash. It's all this comparison, this stigma, man, these stereotypes, of growing up, and social media, man, Instagram, Facebook. Man, what's your opinion on this? With the usage of youth today, you're spending, like, I remember I asked my cousins, asked some of my friends, and some of my cousins are clocking, and some of my friends are clocking 17 hours, 15 hours on TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah, it's like you live in two lives. You wake up, you're on your phone, you're living a set life. Even the shit you see, it's like a different life, and then you're missing this life too. But you're still living it as well because you're active and you're alive,
Yeah.
So the phones are a disaster, but I'm guilty of it too. Yeah, we all
Same
are.
here. I'm guilty. I'm just rewatching my clips, trying to get the views up.
I'm sure you'll watch this over a few times.
No, I'm watching this a million times, bro. This is late.
But we're all guilty of it. We sit there and we get stuck into looking at this, looking at that.
Yeah.
Even comparing ourselves to people online as well, comparing ourselves to people doing certain things and go and play, similar to what we were saying before.
Yeah.
There'll always be people doing better than you, and there'll always be people doing things that you want to do too, but it's your own journey in life that you want. Don't compare yourself to others. Just don't compare yourself to others. I can never stop saying that.
Yeah, because it's so important, man.
Yeah, that's what social media does.
That's what social media does. Look, especially with the girls, boys. Some you see some people like depressed. Why is my nose shaped like this?
Yeah.
Like you were actually overthinking about our nose.
You know what else?
Our eyes, our face shape. Oh, what? Are you serious?
I try and I speak to some friends sometimes, boys, girls.
Yeah.
All ages, and mate, boys are insecure too. Yeah. Chicks are openly insecure. Boys are insecure. I have my insecurities. I'm sure you do too.
I do.
Our camera guy probably does as well. Yeah, he's nodding his head. So when we're inside our mum's stomach, God bless them for carrying us for 9 months.
God bless my mum.
We don't have a remote that goes, all right, I want my legs to be like this. I want my nose to look like this. I want my eyes to be this color. No,
hey,
you're
looking pretty good, bro.
You don't really have a remote that says this is how I want to look.
Yeah,
we're all Allah's creation. We're all beautiful in our own way.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's where social media breaks it down a little bit. It's like, no, you got to have this like that, that like this, and it sort of like aggravates you a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
When you realise that we're all Allah's creation,
Yeah.
you become a bit more content. We're all beautiful. You're beautiful, Sammy.
I'm gonna blush, bro. I'm gonna blush. Ali, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Even and I,
What about it? What about the camera? He's
cameraman. He's amazing. He's a
beautiful.
mix. He's amazing.
Nice, he's got to get him on. He's got a nice.
We're getting him on. Don't worry. We'll keep him a bit
Just
secret.
book him in, because he was pretty late today. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was.
Book him in.
Won't talk about that.
He's laughing. Book him in, and just tell him to be here like 1 p.m. and he won't get here till like 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And imagine rocks up at 1.
He's the boss though.
No, he is. He is.
Anyway, so we're all beautiful in our own way, Sammy.
No, we are, and as much as I'd like to hit it for remote,
What would you change if you had a remote?
Nothing, man.
Yeah?
I'm sexy as it is. I can't believe I just said that on camera. I'll say it. Amazing. I have full confidence and strength, and everybody that's watching, say mashallah, okay?
Mashallah.
Mashallah.
Yeah.
Mashallah. Alhamdulillah. And, Ali, today I'm so grateful that I've had you on.
Yeah. No problem.
But first, I got it for the last question. This is the last question. It's a special question. I know you're an Essendon supporter.
Yep.
But Collingwood are going to win the premiership this year. Who do you reckon?
Who do I think will win the premiership?
So then we're going to actually record. We'll show the clip.
We'll show it later on. I think Geelong's still the team to beat. They've made a couple of recruits in off season, which is only going to make them better.
Yeah.
They're just so strong. Like you should have seen. You saw what they've done to Sydney, right? In the contest.
No, they were crazy.
They don't play like the most structured game, but when the ball's there to be won, 6-7 times out of 10 they win it. They got players good enough to win it, and that's all the game is too. There's a ball, there are 2 teams, and you got to get it.
That's right.
And they're strong enough to get it.
Even though they got the old players, you reckon they got to still another year?
I think they got one more year in them. I think Melbourne will try and make a little comeback with Grundy and Lucky Hunter, and who else have they got? I think that's about it. But those two will make a huge difference there.
Collingwood.
Yeah.
We got what's his name? That Hawthorn player.
Yeah, Mitchell.
He's a good player. Even though he's 40 years old and he's about to retire,
we still
got him.
He's actually a really good player.
No, he's Brownlow medal, mate. Come on.
He gets the ball a lot.
So shout out to Collingwood.
Yeah.
Shout out to Western Jets. Shout out to what's the brand? The Special
Productions. Just before we go,
yeah.
I do appreciate you having me on here. And I spoke to my manager at the Jets, and I told him, I'm like, mate, I'm going on to podcasts. We're going to speak about Jets and all that and all good. So I've got you some shorts. I'm going to give you a present.
Come on, Ali.
I've got you some shorts. Hopefully it fits you.
I'm a large man.
Yeah. All right, so I'll give them to you now. There you go.
Oh, thank you, guys. I just got signed. Let's take a photo. Take a photo. Quick photo. We got signed, guys. Thanks.
There you go. No, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I hope we change. Even if it's just one person, they just learn one small thing from today. That's all it's for, right? We're not here to change everybody's life.
No, that's
that
right.
much. Just one small thing.
No, that's right. It's anybody that can take anything, any small thing, any small lesson. Yeah. We've done our job. You know what I mean? We're out here to give real life experiences and give solutions to people's problems. Yeah. You've heard it today. Live your life. Focus on yourself. Live in the moment. And don't compare yourself, and work hard every day and try to beat the person who you were yesterday.
Yep.
Who were you yesterday? Try to beat that person.
100%.
Thank you, Ali. Thanks everybody for listening.
Thanks, cameraman.
Thanks, cameraman.
Thanks, Sammy.
Thanks for episode 4. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. That's me, Sammy. That's me, Ali Hammett. Again, we're shaking this. He's chucking. I'm going to chuck it up, right?
Go.
Thank you, guys. See you next time.
Good work.
Thank you.